Chats. I am Brian here. It's a beautiful day here in New England. I have a great guest today. She's a runner, she's an educator, she's a mom, she's a dog mom, she's just all things, right? So, welcome to the show, Crissy Conte. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. I wish we were actually at the beach.
It would be wonderful. It's actually almost like a fall day today,
I
right?
know.
People might be in
Yeah.
like a hoodie or something like this juncture because it is New
Yeah.
England. It's not Florida. I interviewed someone from Florida the other day who's in Miami, so it's like a little bit warmer, a little bit hotter down there. So, you know, did you run this morning? First
I did.
fact.
So I woke up, I met some of my running friends at 5 a.m. So when my
Okay.
alarm went off at 4:15, I was actually like, oh, it's brisk out here when I was walking Archer, which is my dog.
Mhm.
And I thought, do I need to wear pants? But then I was like, you're crazy. It's not
It's
pants season
it's not pants season yet. It's
No,
still shorts and
no,
tank top season.
no.
It's summer. All right, pump the
Summer.
brakes. I do love fall though. I prefer fall running because I don't do well in the heat. I did not run this morning because I've been up since like 2:30. So I just knew it'd be a crappy ass run today. So I just figured I don't want to go outside and just be pissed. So I skipped it. How far did you go?
5 miles.
5 miles, rocking. So what are you
Yeah.
training for? Are you training for anything? I know you're racing and you're running is a big part of your life. What
Um,
what do you
I
got
have
on?
no on the calendar. My friend Carla is trying to get me to commit to Hartford again for the fall.
Do it.
Um, she, nah, I mean, like, I don't know if I'm a one and done. Uh, I
I
can't
see
remember.
now.
You done?
Yes, I've done a full. The medals behind me on the wall. There's been eight of them in my history,
Oh,
and
that's
I
lucky.
can't see the bibs on my windows, but I have all my numbers
Yeah,
plastered on my office windows. I'm surrounded by memories of what I did once before, and the haunting reminder that I can't do it anymore like I used to. It's like a cool thing, but also torture. Yes,
yep.
I've done a few of them since last one was like 2013. I think it was Marine Corps Marathon is the last one I did. So it's been a minute. And I was trying to train again for another one, and I got plantar fasciitis. So doing really well, and I got plantar fasciitis, and I recovered from it, and now I'm just like
Yeah.
sucking right now. So I'm in the funk right now of running, sucking again. But so now you're going to be on this. So when I post this online, I'll have to tag it and say, should you run another marathon? I think the
Yeah.
collective will probably say you should. And so if I
Mhm,
get people
mhm.
behind that, they'll say yes, right?
Here's the thing. I don't really want to do Hartford again.
We'll do something different.
Well,
Just
she does Hartford. I kind of want to do Philly.
do Philly.
It's because that's right around my birthday in November,
See?
and I love Philly. So if it hasn't sold out yet, I might go for Philly.
We might have to do like a fundraiser and say, should she run
Oh,
Philadelphia? If I can get
you
enough
get a
backing on this,
fundraiser to have me
pay
register as
pay the race fee for these marathons. What
yeah,
do they go for
yeah,
nowadays? When I was used to like 10 plus years ago, there's like, affordable. Now they're like 200
yeah,
bucks plus flights plus hotels. I'm like, all this to run 26 miles of hell and torture?
exactly.
That
Yeah,
seems like a I don't know, like a problem. Like
yeah.
I need to see a therapist for that kind of like I spend all my money on this and I pay myself to do this. What's wrong with runners?
Don't give my therapist another topic. Her plate is already full for her.
Therapists will do that. So it's just, running is like therapy. And I know this, you work in education and higher ed. You're starting a new gig tomorrow.
Tomorrow, new
What
gig.
what what is the new gig gonna be?
It's a lateral move. So I've spent the last 12 years here in the School of Business at Central,
Mhm.
either in an academic advising role or the past couple of years as the assistant dean. And what's that game, Barrel of Monkeys or
Something like
something, where
that.
they put the monkeys in the barrel and they shake them all up and then you throw them out or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they're doing. Management's just barrel of monkeys around here, and moving a
Well,
few people around. But I'm actually like super excited about the opportunity. So I'm going to go be the assistant dean over in the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences,
nice.
which is exciting for so many reasons. One, I've been in this school for 12 years, and it's
Mhm.
like, I don't know, maybe you feel the same way about higher ed, but
Mhm.
it's hard to move around sometimes.
It
Uh,
is.
and presently in my life, outside of work, it's like I want to be close to home. So it's not like I'm looking to
Mhm.
move geographically. So being at Central is kind of where it's at right now. And so it's lateral, but I'm going to be meeting new faculty, new
Yeah.
departments, learning new things. Feel
Well,
like I'll be doing something to stop the progression of Alzheimer's. because I'm
Right.
exercising my brain.
Well, the thing with education, like I said, I've worked in it for 20 plus years. And I think you get burned out. Sometimes you just need, even as a lateral move, you need a shift, right? To kind
Yeah,
of find the energy to keep doing it. Do you see this as an opportunity to do that now?
I do. I do. I mean, I just kind of feel like I've not that like it's not that you I've accomplished all the things here in school
Hmm.
business. It's constantly a learning thing, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm doing anything to stimulate my brain, and
Yes.
so I'm excited for a different group of students, a different group of
Hmm.
faculty. I'm also really excited because I was already on the books for teaching a first year experience course for business students, so I'm still doing that this
Nice.
fall. So I'll still get my business students.
There you go.
And then yeah, I don't know, new opportunities.
Well,
Basically, we have a brand new dean starting tomorrow too over there, so
okay.
it's just like a whole new team.
Well, it's like all new energy, right?
Yes.
And you have to do things too, because like I said, if you do a lot of the same things over and over, like I said, it's like the monkey just stays in a barrel and just takes a nap. And but that for me, for example, creativity, and you constantly try to find stuff to do. And I've worked for in education for a long time, and I know people get kind of stagnant and they stay in that pocket, right? And they always will just, I'll
Yeah.
just do my job, then whether they're content, right? But it sounds like you're a person who doesn't like to just be content because you just might get bored,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
And so you need creativity, you need a new challenge. So what kind of challenges do you see coming from this new role, even though it is a lateral move?
Well, I mean, I think first learning totally different programs. So,
Hmm.
the thing about business is like our curriculum's the same no matter which major you were pursuing until you got to that major
Yeah.
status. And so it was pretty easy to know the classes and the advising piece of it. And while every student has a different story, they all were kind of, you expected them. It wasn't like you've heard them tale as old as time kind of thing. So I think learning new programs and rules and how
Hmm.
how they handle it, how their faculty are. I've heard that, they might be a little bit more passionate about their fields. And I'm really excited actually about being in liberal arts and social sciences
Hmm.
specifically, just because that's what I used to joke to people like, I've never taken a business class in my life.
Yeah.
Um,
I would be the worst
so
business
what the heck
advisor.
was I doing in the school of business? My degree's in higher education, in human development and family studies. So, I kind of just feel like I'm going back to my roots and things that I enjoy. So, but in terms of challenges, I think the biggest challenge initially might be the personality uh, shifts. Like I think a lot of people aren't necessarily happy with these staffing changes. Not that
Hmm.
I had any input in it. So when you enter an environment where people are not as positive as you might be, that can be a challenge. But I have a colleague who's going over there as well from school business. She's going into the advising role over there, and she kind of just keeps coming in and saying, like, I'm so nervous about this. And I'm just like, listen, we're going to go over there. We're going to kick butt. We're going to be
That's right.
positive. We're going to show them how our great ideas and take it day by day. It's going to be fine.
Well, that's all you can do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
education, I always say it is a culture. I always explain to students sometimes and explain the difference between psychology, sociology, and anthropology, right? And I
Yeah.
refer to as the campus itself is an anthropological study, right? There's
Totally.
different players, there's faculty, there's staff, there's administration, there's students, there's maybe sneaky alumni that show up and want to have a voice. They're all part of this culture, right?
Yeah.
And then the sociology part is how we communicate within that culture, like how do faculty talk to staff and how do staff talk to students and faculty talk to students and vice versa, right? The psychology behind it is how do people feel after that? You talked about people's feeling about the cultural shift, the staffing changes, all these things that come in place, and so people have feelings. Or if I tell a student you're going to fail, what psychologically I thought I was doing really well. It's like yeah, but that's in that culture. These are the how this stuff works, because higher ed is a very unique place in
Yeah.
so many levels. And being in an administration or even in this position, working with faculty and managing faculty, it's hard to do, you know, but if you can do it, then you make great things. And we want to make this a positive conversation in higher ed, right? What drew you to so what drew you to higher ed? You think about this journey, human development. What drew you to higher ed in general?
You know, I think my story is fun, so I do think it's positive.
Okay.
My parents are from Italy, straight up the same first gen. I have two older sisters. They're 7 and 8 years older than me. So, by the time I was ready to go to college, they were already done with college and out of the house.
Yeah.
So, my parents who didn't have an education were just like, well, you have to go to college just like your sisters,
Mm.
and you're going to UConn because that's what your sisters did. So that's just what you're doing.
Go UConn.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. But what am I going for? Because you have to go, and I think what's cool is like that we still have those students now. I'm sure you feel like that way at CT
Mhm.
State too, where there's first gens that come to college and they're like, I don't know, I just
Yeah.
think I'm supposed to be here because that's what society tells me to do. Um, and I knew I wanted to go to college because I wanted to get back out of my house, but away from my parents for a while. I grew up in this Italian household. I had to be nice.
I know rules, structure. And then you go to college and we could probably tell stories about college life after getting out of the house. This is
Yeah.
my own podcast. There is no rules, so
Okay. Yeah.
the college
Well,
experience is
you know,
different.
so, my first semester of college, I can still remember like even new student orientation and doing my first overnight there.
Mhm.
I remember meeting my academic advisor at orientation, and she put me in her FYE class, or suggested that I take her FYE class. I don't know why. She probably just felt some type of thought I had good energy. Who knows? But she had me enroll in her FYE class. Um, and after my first semester of college, I had like a 2.1 GPA, which is not
Nice.
great.
Well, I
Not
was on
great.
probation one semester. We're good.
Well, I feel almost like the 2.1s are the what, the students below a 2.0, they get targeted. Hey, you're on probation. You
Yeah.
need X, Y, and Z resources. But you have a 2.01 and above,
You're
apparently
good.
you're okay.
You're good standing. You're fine. You
And
can still graduate.
yeah, and I think that my advisor was doing some type of little side project of her own, like a research project, which I think is very fascinating, where she was running like a report of her advisees that had above a 2.0, but let's say below a 2.2.
Hmm.
And she reached out to those students and said, like, let's make an appointment, see what's going on, and had me in. And she, we talked, and I just was like, this place is huge, and I don't know, nobody's telling me to go to class, and there's 300
Hmm.
students in my intro to psych course, and I don't know, all my friends were going to see a movie the night before the final, and I wanted to go, so that's
Yeah,
what I
heck
did
yeah.
instead of studying. And like, she just heard that I was not making smart choices, and for whatever reason, liked me enough to get me a job as a student worker in the
Nice.
advising office. And it is still to this day one of those things where I'm like, if I never had that on campus job, one, would I have retained at UConn? Would I have been academically
Yeah.
successful? Um, would I have even known? Like, it's one of those things. Like when you went to college, you didn't know that working at a college was a possible career.
No.
Probably it's like you go to college and you're like, okay, teacher, firefighter, whatever.
Mhm.
Engineer, nurse, what have you. But like I worked there for 3.5 years, and it wasn't until my senior year where I was like, you guys have a really cool gig. Like you get to really impact students, and I want to do that too because you've had such a huge impact on me. And that was that, and that was it.
Well, I remember when I was in college, I grew up small town America, rural America in the Midwest. And, graduating class was 45 people. I went to the biggest
Wow.
school in the state, right? So one of my classes was bigger than my entire school. And I wanted to go there, just I wanted experience. And, first year was fine. And I switched majors 3 times. I was a meteorology major. Fascinating, right? Broadcasting was
You
my
have a
second.
great voice to tell the weather.
I heard this when I was broadcasting was my second major, and I remember that someone said to me once, "You have a face for radio." I was like, "Cool." And wait, that's an insult. I figured it out like that's how dumb I was when I was 18, 19, because as a guy and we're not that smart at that point. And he takes us a minute. It's like, wait a minute, that's not cool. Face for radio, but I didn't want to be a
Yeah.
weatherman. I wanted to do the science part. And I sucked at the science part.
Okay.
Broadcasting, I wanted to work for ESPN. Now they don't work for ESPN because they get fired and pay Pat McAfee lots of money and get rid of everybody else at ESPN. That'll be on later.
Yeah.
But then I went to communication studies because that was the easy out because I was on
Yep.
probation one semester because my sophomore year, I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. There could probably be a whole nother episode about crazy stories in college. Thank God we didn't have social media back then, at least for me, because nothing was documented. Whew. I wouldn't have employment either.
Yeah.
No one would be employed, right? But it was a fun time. You learn each experience. And my advisor, her name is Karen. She was scary. She had these big glasses, buggy eyes into this faculty office, and just like I never wanted to see her because she was intimidating. So you figure it out, but I never thought about this as a career either, right?
Yeah.
Psychology is my background. I work with STEM. I have no clue on anything about physics or calculus. I have not a damn thing about that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm your therapist if you can't handle it, right? Come in here, suck it up, finish it, right? But it's an interesting thing, right? We figured this out, even that you're right about that 2.1 GPA. It's like they're good standing, but they're like that slippery slope, right? And just move one direction and boom, they're out, right? Or they're
Yep.
not graduating or something weird. But it doesn't, but these experiences define you, right? And it helps you grow into the person you are. So now you're giving back into this position as at the school you're at now. So it's that's the beautiful part. It's like coming full circle,
Yeah.
right? But the stories help define us and how we get to where we are. But outside of this, you talked about impact, right? You're a
Yeah.
mom of two boys. What's that
Yes.
impact like? Do they see you and the work that you do and like look up to? It's like, hey, I want to be in higher ed too, or are they like, I want to be firefighters and cops?
I mean, they're 6 and 9, so they still have some time to figure it out. Right now, unfortunately, my 9-year-old wants to be a YouTuber, as many. Uh,
Hey, I'm 46 and I'm on YouTube.
yeah,
What the hell's
exactly.
wrong with me?
Um, Although he's got a great backup plan of being a scientist, so
Good.
strong, strong backup plan. I personally think he would be an incredible like dog trainer. Um,
Hey,
I think he could start it now at a young age. He's got he's so empathetic. He's an empath. He's so smart and emotionally intelligent and just like such a special kid. Not so is Grant, who's 6.
he's like, he might watch like, wait,
They're
hold
both
on.
great.
Like,
I,
just throwing shade. Poor
I
Grant.
love them both in different ways, but both very deeply. Grant's like my wild child, and um, I think he's going to be a base jumper when he grows up or something. Like he's just
As it keeps
he's
you.
going to test. He is going to test the limit. I feel like it's interesting because like Henry is a lot like me. He's super outgoing and will talk to anybody. I mean, he can have a conversation with a tree. And Grant kind of lurks in the background. He's a little bit more like my husband, soaks it in, like
Mhm.
makes observations before just trusting anybody, which I can appreciate. I think that's a weakness of mine where I'm vulnerable too soon to folks. But
You don't have inhibition. You just go with it. It's like, I didn't think about that.
yeah, but sometimes, yeah, yeah, uh-huh,
Mhm.
I
That's
do.
happened in
I
college,
definitely put my foot
Probably
in my mouth.
did it happen in college, right? Inhibition to the wind and just, yeah. These are like
Yeah, but I mean,
unsanctioned tapes.
I think when you're in college, that's kind of okay to an extent, depending on what it is, right? Like this is the time to make the mistakes. That's always something that I talk with students about now. Like they come in, they're so hard on themselves. And of course, there are plenty of students who need a swift kick in the pants,
Mhm.
and there's plenty of students who, I'm like, you're not getting anything past me. You're BSing at this point. But then there are those students that are just like so disappointed in themselves, and think like, I don't know, you probably have these students too who are like, don't do well in a class and just decide, I'll ghost it because then it doesn't
Mhm.
exist. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you can't just ghost a class. Like
I know.
it doesn't go away. You have to withdraw from it. Like
No,
things like we have to keep
exactly.
using. But when they come in and they are just like, yeah, I just can't handle it, or they're just so they take it so internally, and so to be able to have those conversations, and this relates back to parenting because my son is like this too, where it's like he's so very hard on himself. It just doesn't come to him naturally. It's a failure, and just kind of sit down and really emphasize like first and foremost, failing, whatever we define that as, is part of
Hmm.
the process, and it's okay to fail. It's what we do with that failure and how we rebuild or learn from it that really matters.
Well, I find myself in my role as parenting sometimes because my son's 20, soon to be 21. So these conversations that I have with my students, I feel like it's the same personalities coming out with them like I've had with my son. I'm like, you're playing too many video games. You knock this, I just want to it's like talk to them professionally, talk to them nice, don't get on their ass. But I was like, damn it. At one point, I had my son's PlayStation controller in my office desk because obviously he played too much. And I use it as a prop for all my student appointments. Like, you see this controller, there's a reason why it's in my desk, right? This is going to be
Yeah.
you because you're just going to play video games. And now the new acronyms FAFO, right? And, F around, find out.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. I was gonna say, do we swear on
Yo, you can swear. I can say fuck around, find out. This is mine. Okay.
this?
So, but basically, I say that to him. Is like, what happens? There are
Yeah,
consequences. You make choices. That's why you do them. You learn from these
yeah.
choices. You go from it and make it happen. But like I said, being a parent, it's the same thing. You're trying to model these behaviors. You see it probably in college students, and you probably work really
Oh, yeah.
hard to kind of navigate your kids, your two sons, to find their way so they don't get into this position. If they do fuck around, find out. You talk about the consequences. It's okay, and it's going to be, and they learn from it versus the authoritarian parent here who clamps down on it, right? You probably said Italian family. You probably had that authoritarian. You,
No, that wooden spoon
Oh yeah,
right there dangling.
my mother is German, or was she?
Yeah,
She's German and like 100%. It's not
yeah,
partial, and it's like full authentic German, right? And so,
yeah,
oh man, I was the mouthy kid, the youngest, so I would just get away with things. I'm still that problem. I don't know if it's a good thing. Quick wit, words just come fast. Like you
yeah,
say something, I got it right. I got the response right away.
yeah.
It's not needed because I'm an introvert. I know where it comes from. And man, I got the backhand for I don't know
Yeah.
what it was. It just I still don't swear in front of my mother to this day. Even though she's older now, I've kind of leaned in a few times because she might forget that I said it. But whew, got cooked a few times as a kid. Not a few times, quite a bit. Soap in the mouth, everything,
Yeah.
spoon, belt.
So I'm gonna say, did you get the soap and mouth? I remember one time my mom like didn't have anything but like
Mm.
olive, and she
Ooh,
put like liquid soap. I was
Candace.
just like, oh my god, that taught me a lesson.
Well, I use this and I use when I teach my class in psychology about conditioning. And said the idea is like if you give a bar soap, he'll stop mouthing off, right?
Yeah.
Facts, right? That's how that conditioning thing works. You bring out the soap, you're going to stop talking. And one day I talked about reverse conditioning in my psych class. Like one day my mom gave me the soap and I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat it. And I ate the soap. She freaked out. She said, you can't eat the soap. And she stopped doing it. So guess what happened? I reverse conditioned her. I didn't know what that meant back then, but I totally conditioned my mother
You
to
didn't
stop.
say, okay, well, I'm just gonna use this shoe and hit you with the shoe
I
instead,
mean,
or
she didn't have a shoe. I mean, who throws a shoe? Maybe if whatever they had at their disposal,
yeah,
they just worked.
yeah.
I mean, one time, this is how dumb young men are, teenagers. We don't think because our brains aren't developed.
Yep.
And again, I was mowing the lawn, right? And she said something to me, and I'm on the mower thinking the mower's loud. She can't hear this. I'm in an open field, right? It's carrying. My brain thinking loud mower, and I think I said fuck 7 times. And all of a sudden, I turn around. Here comes my mother in her like bathrobe kind of thing, running down the lawn, chasing me because I just dropped the F bomb 7 times. And so, me being the instigator that I was, put that mower in road gear, like as fast as the highest gear it could. If you're
Oh
going to
my
catch me,
god.
you're going to catch me. All right, work for this. So,
Holy
she
cow.
caught me. Oh, she caught me.
That's hilarious. But also, I kind of feel like you should throw some out, be able to. There are times and places where you should be able to throw some F bombs, and I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
when lawn mowing, it's one of them.
Yes. Well, it's the best swear word in my opinion.
I agree.
You can use it in all different things. There's actually a YouTube guy who talks about the different ways to say fuck, right? And you
Yeah.
can just throw it out in different meanings. It's just the
Yep.
best word, right?
I agree. I
You know?
agree.
And it's like in the world that I live in sometimes I just don't give one, right? It's fun.
Right.
But yeah, my mom did not like that word and definitely but did I learn? No. Let's push the
Oh,
buttons. Now, do your kids push your buttons? You said Henry's which one's Grant pushes your buttons or
Grant
which one?
Grant pushes the limit. He will test them. Like he's just always like, hey bud, that's not safe. Oh yeah, well, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
show
do
you
it
that I'll
anyways.
be fine. And he hasn't broken a bone yet, so I mean, I guess he's not wrong, but at the same time, when he does break that bone, he is going to be sad. But there's just no stopping him. There's no telling. It's not like there's no telling him no. Yeah, maybe there is no telling him no.
No means yes, right? No
He's
means yes.
trouble. Henry is certainly safer, more cautious. He gets nervous, but also super brave and very sometimes very confident. He's got some gumption.
Hmm.
We just went on vacation last week in Ocean City, Maryland, and there was the boardwalk that we're walking on, and
Hmm.
there's some people that come out that are trying to get like extra cash doing art performing boardwalk performers, just kind of
Hmm.
showing up. And there were these two young men who had a dance floor, and they were doing like break dancing, and one of the men was on season 6 of America's Got Talent for
Ooh,
acrobating. I didn't catch
nice.
his
All
name,
right.
but we get up to this dance floor, and Henry's like, "Mom, what is this thing?" I was like, "Oh, that's a dance floor for dancing." Like he's
Mhm.
like, "I want to dance." I was like, "Well, it's not our floor. You got to ask." And like, here's my 9-year-old just going up to some grown man and saying, like, "Hey, can I use your
Dan,
dance floor on the boardwalk? Like, there are people walking by. Like,
nice.
I would never have this bravery of being like, yeah, I'm just gonna dance in front of
Hey,
hundreds of people that are walking by." And the guy was like, "Yeah, if you want to dance, fine, but we're gonna do like a break dance challenge."
all right.
And Henry went out there and just, I mean, I don't think it was break dancing, but
I
it was some
mean,
cool moves.
it's close enough
And
that you know what they could do at that age. It's just a lot of
and
body
I love
movements and
that. I love that about him. But then on the flip side, he, that's his free spirit, but then he's also not coachable with other things. So like he
yeah.
can do these like little pockets, and then he wanted a real skateboard while we were down there, which um I did treat him to, because he just has a longboard, and we found a really cool skate park, but he couldn't like do anything because longboards are more
Yeah.
stable. So I got him a skateboard, but it's harder. Our skateboards are harder. The wheels are skinnier. There's only
Hmm.
2 instead of 4, and um, he just felt like a real failure. He's like, "Forget it. I don't want to do this." I was like, "Well, I just got you the skateboard, dude. So we're
So
gonna keep
you're gonna do it.
practicing and you'll get better." Um, but trying to give him feedback is really hard. That's something that I've been struggling with in the parenting aspect, because I have to tread really lightly. So I'll have to watch from afar. And we were in the skate park, and he was making
Hmm.
some good strides, and I wanted to be like, "Go, Henry!" But if I did that, he would have looked back at me like with a
Yeah.
death stare. So you can't praise him too much, and you can't coach him. And I will say, this is like one of the scariest things when you have a kid that's not quite open to receiving.
Yeah, well, it's hard. Parenting is a hard thing to do, but you're doing your best. And you're doing amazing with your two
Yeah,
boys,
yeah.
and you're giving them all the experience. Like I said, you just went on vacation. I think it was some of the photos you sent me were from the
Oh, she did.
vacation.
Yeah,
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 so I think I just actually interviewed someone on season 1 of this podcast who was in Ocean City from Maryland, right? So another
yeah,
author who wrote a book from Ocean City. So there's a festival. So yeah, I'm meeting a lot of people from this podcast too. That it kind of comes full circle that someone else went to Ocean City.
yeah.
So it's
It was
been
my
kind
first
of
time. I loved it. We had a great time. Lots of crab cakes.
you can't go wrong with crab cakes, right?
You can't
So
go on crab cakes.
so you said you're doing great things. You have a great career going on there. You've come a long ways. It's kind of like you look
Yes.
back on, it's like, how did I get here? But it's like you put the work in. It's like people talk about overnight success. It's like, oh, you're successful, but the journey to get there, it's a process, right? And so I'm excited for your next job. When you move into it and these new exciting opportunities that come through. Now you have a podcast. Is it your first time doing one?
Yeah,
See, it's not so bad. You can start one
I
of your
think so.
school. Start one of your
Yeah,
school. Right?
yeah, right.
Come on.
Maybe in my
You
new
know,
role, I can find a way to incorporate a podcast.
you could, and it's free content, free marketing. That's what I'm doing it as for mine.
Yeah.
And it's no one's called me up for it, but it's like this is the most free stuff you can do.
Well, it's
There's
probably
no
fun for you.
It is fine. I don't mind doing it. I've gotten better with speaking. I made this epiphany the other day before I wrap up. I was doing a new student orientation, and I'm an introvert. You not think
Yeah,
it by
you
doing
mentioned that.
this. And I was speaking in front of the room, and I used to get sort of nervous. Like, okay, there's a big room of people. And once I get
Yeah,
on the mic, I'm fine, and I get into it. But I get a little nervous. I speak fast, right? But I got up. I'm like, it's no big deal. And I feel like doing this thing that I've been doing has taught me to just be expressive and be comfortable doing it. Putting myself on TikTok and all these other weird platforms that I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with it. I've gotten comfortable with it. Even listening skills have gotten better too, that I like
yeah.
shut up as much and don't talk as much, let people finish, don't interrupt. And I'm getting better at that. So I feel like doing this thing has been kind of helpful even in my own career. It was also fun to do. And but Crissy, it's been wonderful having you on today. And I'll let you get back to the day. I know you have a lot going on, and it's been a pleasure having you on.
I have a couple follow ups from that.
Oh,
So
yes.
you can't hang up with me yet.
Well, I
I need
only
more
got a
time.
few minutes left of this thing.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to just say that no one knows what the hell they're doing, right?
No.
Because no one knows that. I think that's like the big thing. I'm doing a great job with parenting, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, right? And like, I'm a much better parent now than I was when I was married, which is interesting. So like, I'm a
Hmm.
divorced mom, and I love the version of me as a mom now
Hmm.
than the version of me, and I didn't know that until afterwards, right? We're all growing. The failures lead to the success. Is
Exactly.
kind of where that all is. So, none of us know what the heck we're doing. I think that's the big lesson. I think there's a lot of fear in the world. Scared to put yourself out there. Even our students, right? Oh, I can't talk to my professor. And my big lesson is like, guys, we're all humans. We
Yep.
all everybody's poop smells is kind of one of my favorite sayings.
It does, and depends on what their diet was the night before. I don't know. College kids might smell worse. Diet of Taco Bell and other sorts of crap. But what I always say, if you had the book of life, I always tell my students, if you had the book of life, your whole book, and you could read it, and it's July 23rd, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and if I knew, okay, I'm doing a podcast, would I be excited about it? I mean, that's the idea that you don't know
Yeah,
what's coming. And if you knew it, life would be boring, right? Because you just
right.
like this. I know what's happening. I have to go to a meeting later. I already know this is happening. This is anticlimactic. Boo! I'm bored. That's what we live for. We live for that stimulating experience, even though it might be a failure or a success. It's stimulating, and that's how we learn.
Yeah,
That's how our mind learns.
we
That's how we
learn.
process stuff. It's just, yeah, the mind's meant for that. But,
Okay,
but
now you
anyways,
can do your.
huh?
I said now you can do your wrap up.
I can do a wrap up. But again, like I said, been wonderful again having you on. Do more stimulating things today, and keep that mind churning and excited for what's coming next for you.
Thank you. Yeah, have a great day. Maybe one day in life we'll actually meet in person.
We might have to do that at the beach.
Yeah.